What's up everyone? Welcome to your first ever update live video where I give you the latest news, the latest info, and keep you updated with the world, meanwhile making it quite comedical and express my opinions on it. I hope you like this. This is not my normal style of content. Normally I am on video, but for this it's just a bit tricky to do it through video. There's no point me having a camera there. I'm not going to be doing anything interesting. I'm basically just going to be talking about what's on the news. So there is going to be a recording coming up on my screen, but apart from that, you're not really going to see me. If you want to see me, though, there's plenty of videos on the channel, so go down below and check them all out. There is tons there to go through. Anyway, today we're going to have a bit of a chat about coronavirus, have a bit of a chat about the changes in the UK, go through some news stories on BBC News, and have a bit of fun with that. So if you're looking forward to that, stay tuned. If not, make sure you go into the top link in the description to watch a different video from me, probably about mental health, because that's the main thing I do on here. But apart from that, let's jump into this video and update you on what life is currently like. So, ladies and gentlemen, obviously at the moment we're all in a bit of a befuddled time. You know, we've been going through quite the epitome of hell over the last couple of months, probably a lot longer for some people. In the UK specifically, I'm talking UK based here, we're starting to come out of it and things are starting to go back to some form of normality. It's definitely not the normality we're all used to, but it is definitely something along the lines of that. So here's some data from the UK's Met for statistics and stuff like that on coronavirus. You've got the confirmed amount of cases, the death toll, and the graph that shows you how we're progressing. So the UK currently is off of its peak, and we're running steadily on, you know, the minimal amount of deaths you can possibly have. I mean, it's still not great, you know, no matter how many people die, it's horrible. But compared to what the amount of people who were dying last month, we're pretty under control, and the numbers are decent for what they were last month. So that's a good thing. The death rate's down, and we've kind of done what the government wanted us to do, of flatten the curve, which I swear every person has had drilled in their brain, and it's kind of like killed them by now. So currently, according to UK statistics, there are 200,681 confirmed cases within the UK, with around 45,738 deaths, which has increased by 61 over the recent day, or recent 24 hours as they would put it. And this was updated on the 25th of July. 61 deaths in the UK over here is pretty good, although I'm recording this on a Saturday, a weekend, and a lot of the time the numbers just drop anyway. So yeah, they're the case numbers. I thought I'd just put them up on your screen, so if any of you are wondering what the case numbers have been recently and how the graphs are looking and you haven't bothered to research it, there you go. It's on your screens right now. Have a look. Oh, this is an interesting one. Obesity increases risks from COVID-19, experts are saying. So obviously over the time we've all been sitting on our couches watching documentaries and movies and stuffing our face with cookies, cakes and pizzas and burgers. We've all been getting a tiny bit fatter. I've definitely put on quite a bit of weight. And over that time, the obesity levels in general have increased. But scientists are now putting out even better news that apparently if you are obese or have increased weight, you are further at risk of COVID-19. Good luck to all these people, because sadly the only reason you're now going to get COVID-19 is because you decided to sit there and do nothing or lockdown, which there was nothing else to do really, so you were kind of put in that predicament no matter what you did. So it's actually come from Public Health England, who have been clearly doing research in all this, and apparently there's been more people admitted to hospitals and admission in intensive care who are either overweight or obese. This is a statement from some of the health officials. Losing weight can bring huge benefits for health and may also protect against the health risks of COVID-19. Yeah, well done. Just basically saying, yo, all fat people in this country, get off your lazy asses and start doing something. Or I promise you won't get COVID-19. I promise. I feel sorry for the poor tossers who, like, don't have the access to equipment to work out, or are you know, in a situation where it's not possible for them to work out by themselves. Even the people who just don't know how to work out. Like, people say get fit. But, like, getting fit is not, like, something that you naturally know how to do. There's actually a lot of, like, skills and techniques that you have to use when working out. And if you don't know these things, you're going to end up with muscles on one arm and no muscles on the other. Muscles on one leg and none on the other. Like, it's just not going to work. So, I feel sorry for them people as well. Because this is pretty interesting to read. So, this is something we haven't seen in quite a long time as well. 2 teenagers stabbed in the street near Chigwell rail station. Now, obviously, when a massive pandemic kicks off or any form of national security or national health emergency comes up, the government's like, yo, push every other problem we've ever had aside, and we need to focus on this national emergency because I don't care about anything else. And it's pretty much the same with news agencies. A lot of people have been like, yo, stabbings in the UK have gone down a bit since this pandemic. One, because half of us has been locked in our houses for the last 2 months. But at the same time, they've not really gone down. The only thing that's happened is news sites and media sources have stopped reporting on it because basically it won't get them views and won't earn the money anymore because obviously there's a massive pandemic going on. Which is interesting at the best. So, yeah, 2 teenagers got stabbed in the area of Chigwell rail station, which is actually pretty close to where I live, believe it or not. Pretty scary times. My hearts and sympathies go out to these people. I mean, they were in the middle of the street having a fight. Don't know what the heck they were doing. But yeah, it looks pretty serious from the images that have come up. Apparently, police were called at 1900 hours, which is 7 o'clock in the evening. To reports of a large group of people fighting, including some with weapons, in the Chigwell area, near the rail station. So, yeah. Not great. It was, one of the 15-year-olds got injured in the head and the leg, while the other was stabbed in the arm. Pretty grim. You know, this happened before, but I think this story's really took off on BBC News. Because we haven't really seen reports on this stuff while this pandemic's been going on, even when the restrictions weren't so strict, because news sources were like, yo, that's not going to make us any money, so we're not going to report on it. But now people are really going to kick up a fight about this, and I don't blame them, to be honest. This is probably one of the biggest threats posed to teenagers nowadays, is them just getting involved in gang violence and God knows whatever else. So why these kids are even carrying around knives in the first place is very questionable. Oh lads, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry are back on the books. We haven't seen this drama before. So obviously, as if you've been not living under a rock for the last 2 years, Meghan Markle decided to come along and nick one of our princes. Well done, woman, you did a very good job. She basically come over from Canada or America or whatever, got married to this guy who's part of our royal family, and was like, yo, I don't want to live here anymore, I hate your family, let's move to Canada and ruin your entire career. And that's what she's proceeded to do. If they're in actual love, I don't care, but I honestly think she's done half of the things she's done for money, for fame, and the idea that she gets this geezer sitting next to her in a room of the night. I bet you like giving him the whole, didn't you? I'm not actually going to read this report, because I feel like it's just a bit pointless. But well, we get the idea, you know, something's happened with them. I really could not care. So, Scotland have been doing quite well recently. Good job, Scotland. It's nice to hear about you in the news for once. There's been no COVID-19 deaths for 9 days in a row within Scotland. Pretty no surprise. Most of them are up there sitting there eating pies all day. But yeah, there's been no deaths. Well done, Scotland. Good job. To be fair with you, like, to be fair to all the Scottish people who are viewing this, your leader or the person who sort of leads Scotland is pretty good, and she's dealt with this pretty decently. So clap to her. It's no surprise that you haven't got no deaths. She was actually acting much more persistently and much better than we was. So it's good. Actually, God, I've just read this. The last time that 27 new positives were reported was the 19th of June 2020. Wow, these guys have really upped their game. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't been involved in politics ever in your life, which most people don't give a shit about anyway, pretty pointless being in a democracy, because most people just vote for whoever they think's best when politicians just promote a bunch of shit to get money. But anyway, I'm not going to go into that. China and the US have dissolved their relations. You know, it's gone a bit tipsy, as it's always been. I mean, when this man's in charge, and then this man's in charge of the two most powerful nations on the planet, you know the world's about to end. I mean, this guy literally recommended a couple of days ago to his people to go and drink bleach to cure a virus. And he's in charge of pretty much the entire of the Commonwealth. Well done, man. You did a good job. I don't even know why you run to be president, to be honest. So, if you're not very up to date in all of this, I'll let you have a read of it. It's on your screens right now. But basically, Russia and China... No, not Russia and China. That's a completely different story. The US and China have always been back and forth conflict economically. You know, they're two of the most powerful nations. They both want to have control over international trade. And they just bang at each other's doors all the time. But there's been significant escalation recently due to situations in China, in Hong Kong, of changing laws and God knows what else. So it's all gone a bit down the piss hole. And now, obviously, the US have got involved and decided to make it a big deal. The US works under the basis of if something happens in the world, it's our problem as well. I don't care what land you're on. You could be halfway across the planet. It's still our problem. I mean, I must send my military in to deal with it. That's basically what they've done. To be fair, the UK has done the exact same. Well, guess what the White House are reporting about, lads? They're reporting about Paw Patrol. You know that great movie where a bunch of dogs go around saving the planet? Yeah, lads, the US government were really concerned about it and have apparently announced that it's not going to die. Well done, good job. You did well in the world. So recently the PM got interviewed by BBC News, basically the British's main news site, asking him about how he thought he dealt with the pandemic, what he thought he could have done differently. And to be fair on the old geezer, I mean, with the messy haircut and all, he did a pretty good job. I mean, people are saying he fouled the UK. I swear that's like the only thing that trends on Twitter anymore. But he's had a lot of pressure on it. Like, for a Prime Minister to have to put his country in lockdown, that's a pretty big thing to have to do. And to be fair with the guy, like, it's unprecedented. Like, no other Prime Minister before that has pretty much never had to do that, apart from in World War II, which was, like, a completely different story. So we can't really criticise the way he's dealt with this. Obviously, there could have been things done better. Maybe he could have put lockdown in a bit earlier. Maybe he wasn't making all the right policy decisions, but considering this was an unprecedented event and we haven't overloaded our NHS and, you know, we haven't become a complete bystander, the dude did pretty okay. But he didn't say he was perfect either. He said there was lessons to be learnt and he definitely expressed how things could have been done differently and he's learnt his lesson. So we can't complain about that. Most Prime Ministers just sit there and don't say that they've done anything wrong and try and make everyone think that they did everything right when they didn't. So we've got to give the guy some credit. So obviously the Prime Minister had his own dealings with coronavirus. He actually caught it himself and ended up in intensive care, and the government were literally preparing for his death. I think they had even planned a speech for if he died. So it was a pretty big scary time for the UK, and I think because of that, the Prime Minister, after that moment where he was in intensive care, took his job a bit more seriously and realised that this virus that's going around is not actually a pathetic thing and needs to be dealt with quickly. And I think since that moment he's really put his foot down, but sadly that was too late for anything. But oh, look at that amazing picture. Come on, lads, you can't deny that picture of Boris. Him recording that was just a piece of art. He got criticised a lot during this, to be fair. A lot of people said he didn't act quick enough, he didn't take scientific advice, and many other things. But I can't have anything against the dude, apart from his stupid haircut. He's a pretty decent geezer. Probably goes down the pub every weekend, let's be fair. So I don't think this is the exact post about it, but obviously, lads, Russia are getting involved again. You know, typical Russia and UK conflict is happening all over again. We're not at war, don't worry. But the government recently released a report on Russia apparently interfering with the Scottish elections to become independent and many other different elections. Apparently they've been hacking into services, influencing people in our country, trying to adjust our democracy and all this other fucked up stuff. Yeah, they're trying it again. Good job, Russia. Vladimir Putin's really after a bunch of British lads to have a threesome with. Boris Johnson's also been accused of not acting on this. To be fair, he is dealing with a fucking pandemic. Like, I don't know who the people think he is. He's not a robot. But yeah, it's gone completely overboard, and a lot of people are quite pissed at it. So yeah, that's the thing. Certain things I wanted to talk about today. Mention things that I think you need to be aware of. The rest is just random stories and different things. You can go and check the BBC News. It will be down below. But I thought I'd just do my first share of this recording. I don't know how this is going to go. I definitely don't know if this is going to be successful. So if you've got any suggestions of how I can improve this series, please let me know in the comments. I would be happy for suggestions, because this is all new to me. So any suggestions I can get, I'm going to take. But apart from that, I hope you are healthy, well, and up to date on life. And I will catch you dudes next time for a brand new mental health video. Apart from that, I'll catch you dudes later. Bye bye.